What I've learned in 29 years as a mortgage lender. Yes, I'm that old, and no, I did not start when I was in kindergarten. So thank you for the compliment. Of when you spend nearly 3 decades in the mortgage industry like I have, you start seeing patterns that aren't obvious to newcomers. I've helped over 2,000 families achieve their dream of home ownership. And let me tell you, this journey has taught me some profound lessons. Today, I want to share the 7 most important realizations I've come to understand after 29 years in this business.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm Gurfinkel, Senior Loan Officer with Fairway Independent Mortgage, and I've been in this crazy biz for dang near 30 years, and I've helped over 2,000 families get into their own homes. I am here today to break down the complexities of mortgage lending to the everyday person. And that's what I do literally every day, day in and day out for all of my clients. My realization number 1, the lowest rate isn't always the best deal. And this one is big, and there is a reason it's number 1. Listen, I can't tell you how many times I've had clients come to me waving some internet lender's rate quote like it's a winning lottery ticket. Ella, can you match this 5.99 rate? But here is what those flashy online rates don't tell you. They often come with astronomical closing costs or points that get rolled into your loan. Let me give you a real life example. Just last month, I had a client who was about to go with an online lender offering a rate, check this out, 0.5% lower than what I quoted. Sounds great, right? Well, that lower rate came with a $15,000 price tag on a $400,000 loan. Let me repeat that. $15,000 for that lower rate on only a $400,000 loan. When we did the math together, it would have taken over 7 years just to break even on that piece of the costs alone. And guess what? Most people either refinance or move before that break-even point. So the real question isn't what's the lowest rate. It is what's the best overall package for my situation. That includes looking at your total closing costs, monthly payment, how long you plan to stay in the home, and whether you might refinance in the future. There may be more factors to look at, but there is no such thing as a one-size-fits-all in my crazy line of work. When we have a discussion about your package, your solutions versus what's the lowest rate, we actually address all of them. It's about your dreams and goals. It's about your financial situation, and it's about what fits you the best. My second realization is that education beats sales every time. As a matter of fact, this one I actually learned very early on. You know what makes me different from those fast-talking loan officers who just want to get you to sign? I believe in taking the time to explain all the details. I take the time to explain literally everything, and I mean everything. When a client understands what they're getting into, they make better decisions. Period. I've spent countless evenings and weekends walking clients through their options, explaining why an FHA loan might be better than conventional or vice versa, breaking down closing costs and showing them exactly what their monthly payment will look like. Yes, it takes more time. Yes, sometimes these clients end up shopping around anyway. But you know what? The ones who come back always say the same thing. Ella, you were the only one who actually explained things to me. This isn't just about getting you approved. It's about making sure you understand what you are signing up for. Because let's be honest, a mortgage is probably the biggest financial commitment you'll ever make. Shouldn't you understand exactly what you're signing up for? Number 3, the real work happens before the application. Here is something that most people don't realize. By the time you're ready to submit a mortgage application, most of the hard work should already be done. If you're thinking about buying a home in the next 6 to 12 months, that's when you should be talking to a mortgage professional, not when you're already in contract, not when you fall in love with a house, before all of that. Why? Because we can identify potential issues early. Maybe you need to pay down some credit card debt. Maybe you need to show more stable income. Maybe you need to source your down payment funds properly. These things take time. And trying to fix them while you're under contract is like trying to change a tire while your car is moving. Possible, but a hell of a lot harder and way more stressful than it needs to be. Realization number 4, banks aren't always your best friend. This is going to ruffle some feathers, okay? But I do need to say it, unless you're making over $250,000 a year and have a private banking relationship. So it's not one or the other, it's both. Going to your local bank for a mortgage is often a mistake. Let me tell you why. When you walk into a bank branch, you're typically talking to someone who handles everything from checking accounts to credit cards to personal loans. Mortgages are just one small part of what they do. But for mortgage professionals like me, this is all we do. We live and breathe mortgages every frickin' single day. I've seen countless situations where a bank turned someone down, and when they came to me, I could get them approved because I knew exactly which program would work for their situation. Banks typically have a limited number of mortgage products, maybe 8 to 10 options, maybe. As a mortgage professional, I have access to dozens of different mortgage options, and I can often find solutions that banks can't or won't offer. Realization number 5, credit scores tell stories, not destinies. Let that sink in, please. After 29 years in this business, I've learned that credit scores are like photographs. They capture a moment in time, but they don't tell the whole story. I've worked with clients who had perfect 800 credit scores, but were harder to approve than someone with a 680 score. Why is that? Well, because it's not just about the number. It's about understanding what's behind that number. I've had clients with lower scores because of medical bills or because they were too conservative with credit. I've had others with high scores who were actually overextended on debt. The key is understanding how to read these stories and knowing how to help clients improve their scores strategically. Sometimes just paying down a credit card by a few $100s can help bump up your score by as much as 20 to 30 points or more. Other times, it's about fixing reporting errors or understanding how to restructure your debts to make you approvable. Realization number 6, the market never stays the same. Let me tell you something funny. In my 29 years, I've heard, now is the worst time to buy, or at least a dozen times, right? Well, multiply that times a few hundred. I've also heard how now is the best time to buy, just as often. Well, here is the truth. The market is always changing, and trying to time it perfectly is like trying to catch lightning in a bottle. Good luck to you. I've seen interest rates in the double digits. I've seen them at historic lows during COVID. I've seen housing prices skyrocket, and I've seen them drop. But you know what? People who bought homes 20 years ago, regardless of the rates at that time, are generally pretty happy with their decision today. The key isn't timing the market perfectly. It's understanding your personal situation and making the best decision for your circumstances. Can you afford the payment? Is buying better than renting for your situation? Are you planning to stay in the area for a while? These factors matter more than whether rates might drop a 0.25% next month or whether homes will not increase in value next month. Your situation drives that, and you have to decide. Number 7, this one is big. Relationships matter more than transactions. I've always operated that way, so this one is super close to my heart. In an age where everything is becoming automated and impersonal and transactional, and you don't get to talk to a real person, I've learned that building genuine relationships is more important than ever. I'm not just talking about relationships with clients, though those are crucial and very important to me. I'm talking about relationships with realtors, title companies, maybe inspectors, third-party providers, everyone else involved in the process. And you know what makes me proudest? When I help someone buy their first home and years later, they send their kids to me for their first home purchase, that is why I keep doing what I do. Or when a realtor calls me at 8 p.m. with a tough situation because they know I'll actually pick up the phone and help find a solution. Does it also mean I have no life? To the most part. This business isn't about closing loans. It's about helping people achieve their dreams of homeownership. And you can't do that effectively if you're just treating people like numbers on a spreadsheet or if you have a commission breath. These realizations, they didn't happen overnight. They came from working with thousands of families, from making mistakes and learning from them. And sometimes, yes, it's been a school of hard knocks, staying late, up at night, figuring out solutions to complex problems, putting the puzzle pieces together, and they're what guide me every single day in helping my clients make the best decisions for their future. Now, do I have another 30 years left in me to do what I do? I don't know. I'm still young enough to where, yes, I feasibly could work into my 80s, I suppose. That could be a joke on me. Do I plan on retiring anytime soon? I threaten my family with it all the time. But as long as I can do what I do and put all of my heart and all of my soul into helping my clients, I'll keep doing it. So for the foreseeable future, I'm here for the long haul. For the foreseeable future, I'm here to help you make the right decisions, make the best financial decisions for you, give you as blunt of an advice as humanly possible, and not lead you down the wrong path. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video and the next one and the next one. And now you know for sure that when you call me, I will answer your call. Talk at you soon.